So have a look at the papers. Dipty's with us, and perhaps not surprisingly, the French papers full with very jubilant news that we were talking about just a moment ago, Dipty.
That's right. This time we've won. It's in the bag. That's what Le Parisien says on its front page of Paris's 2024 Olympic Games bid after Los Angeles revealed a deal to host the 2028 Games, essentially leaving the path wide open for Paris. Obviously, this is not official yet. It won't be made official until September, when IOC officials meet in the Peruvian capital of Lima. But for Le Parisien, it's a done deal. Let's not shy away from our joy, the paper says, because this is well-deserved. It was also Paris's last shot at hosting the Games after previous failed bids in 1992, 2008 and 2012.
L'Équipe sports paper, also very victorious on its front page.
Our joy is open, our joy is free, L'Équipe says on its front page, with a play on words of La voie est libre. This one is La joie est libre, La voie est libre, which in French, of course, means the path has been left open. So really this idea that LA's decision has opened the path wide open to Paris to host its 2024 Games. No more bets, les jeux sont faits, the paper says, because aside from a few, quote, formalities, and unless something catastrophic happens, Paris will finally hold its Games after a century of waiting, after a century of frustrations and humiliations. Previous bids have been overshadowed by the ghosts of Olympics past, like Athens and Rio, with their colossal debts and abandoned sites. Today, though, it's about dreams, not nightmares.
Should we put on a grumpy face? Not everyone is jumping for joy, though, are they?
Well, you can always count on the French to find the counter point of view, can't you? Alexandre Delalgue, an economics professor, has written on his blog really what you could call a crashing reality shock. He says Paris may be on the path to hosting the Games, but we can easily predict what happens. The budget will explode because organizing the Games is this type of mega project that's almost too expensive for any city to ever handle. And the other reason is that cities always overstate the economic benefits of hosting the Games, and they understate the costs in order to bid for the Games. The realities of sticking to a tight deadline and the media pressures not to mess it up inevitably means that cities will exceed their budgets. Without exception, it's been the case for every city hosting the modern Games.
That's the two sides of the coin. Let's move on now. French government's announcement that it will open up 2 new migrant centres.
Well, French Interior Minister Gérard Collomb made the announcement yesterday that the government will open 2 new centres in the north of France to house migrants. The communist paper L'Humanité calls it a first gesture, a first step towards the migrants. The paper notes, though, that the centres will fall far short of housing up to 700 migrants that associations in the area say are currently in Calais. The Interior Minister has also called for an inquiry into police violence after a Human Rights Watch report revealed alleged excessive use of pepper spray and harassment of local associations.
Not everyone welcoming this either.
No. Le Figaro quotes Christian Salomé. He's the head of one of the migrant association in that area, who says basically that the migrants in Calais are looking to get to the UK at all costs. Setting up centres about 100 kilometres away only means that they're going to be hauled off to these centres, only to come back to Calais and try and cross the channel. For Salomé, the best option is to create, quote, humanitarian corridors towards the UK.
Now, Dipty's found a piece in Le Croix. It's taking stock of the forest fires that have been ravaging southeastern France the last few weeks.
Well, this is from La Croix, the Catholic paper, which is trying to draw some ecological lessons from these forest fires. In France, they've destroyed 7,200 hectares of land, a nature that's deadly, that's what the paper says, adding that vegetation will take up to will take between 10 and 15 years to regrow. In addition, the soil has been so badly charred that it will make it more susceptible to future erosion. And it's not just France. You'll remember back in June, Portugal suffered deadly fires where 64 people were killed. Over 200 people were injured in fires that ravaged through 53,000 hectares, a disaster that actually prompted the government there to swiftly reform forest management techniques.
Last item from Dipty, we're going to end with Libération's doting farewell. This is to the French actress Jeanne Moreau, who's passed away.
The 89-year-old passed away yesterday. Libé has chosen a full-page portrait of Jeanne Moreau with the title L'amour Moreau, the Moreau love, if you like. The paper describes her really as an insatiable creator, a woman who was extremely liberated and loving, with a career, I quote, that could give you vertigo. She was anti-conformist, which puts her among, quote, the greatest artists of the century.
Yeah, Jeanne Moreau passing away yesterday. Sad news here in France. Thanks, Dipty. Dipty with the papers on